This is my current gaming PC. Now I love this thing and it's got me through thick and thin, but today marks the end of an era because I'm starting my dream build. And with that, we'll give this beast one last shutdown. But this isn't goodbye forever, as I have a video planned for this PC, so stay tuned for that. And inside these boxes are all my new parts. Here's everything laid out, and man, I am so excited to start this build. For the CPU, I'm running the AMD Ryzen 7800X3D, and I'm pairing it with this ASRock X870 ProRS motherboard. For the AIO, I'm running the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 Pro. For RAM, I got the TForce Delta DDR5. For storage, I got this beefy Samsung 990 Pro and 2TB. For the GPU, I got the RTX 5070 Ti from PNY, and a Cooler Master vertical mount kit. For the case fans, I got these cosmic snapping fans. Powering this build is a Corsair RM100e, and we're putting everything inside this NZXT H9 Flow. Alright, let's get building. Alright, we're starting off with unboxing the 5070 Ti. I went ahead and ordered a black one because I couldn't find a white one that was a decent price, because they were all like $1,300 and I'm not about to spend $1,300 on a 5070 Ti. So I went ahead and bought this black one for about like 800 bucks, which was a pretty decent deal. It's pretty close to MSRP. I'm just glad the most expensive part of the build didn't hike up the price way too much. But if you know anything about me, I like to take risks. So I have a super sketchy plan to make sure this thing fits in with the all-white build we have going. Let's get this absolute beast of a card unwrapped and prepare it for what could be the dumbest thing you've possibly seen on the internet. If you haven't guessed it by now, I'm about to be spray painting this graphics card white. And with the shroud removed, we're now ready to get it taped up and ready for painting. And after the most grueling 2 hours of my life, we had this thing successfully taped off. 3 hours later, this is how it looks. I think it turned out pretty well, and yes, I did paint the fans, but after some research, I found that as long as you use super light coats, you won't have any issues. And if you still have a problem with that, guess what? I don't care. This is my build, and I've never really had any issues with painted fans before. After removing the tape, there's a few spots to touch up, but I think I'm ready to install it back on the heatsink. Here's how the final product turned out. I think it looks pretty good. The fans still spin the exact same, which is perfect, but there's a few spots I want to touch up before I actually put it in the build. Alright, now we're actually starting the build. I chose this board because ASRock is known for their decent performance along with very fair pricing. And honestly, this thing looks really great too. Now let's get our CPU unboxed and installed. I went ahead and chose the AMD Ryzen 7800X3D because it's the best performance option that doesn't destroy your bank account. Before I install the CPU into the motherboard, make sure you please like and subscribe. It will really help me out. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers before the end of summer. Anyways, since no one cares about that, let's get this CPU installed, making sure the arrows are lined up with each other. And just like that, we have a smooth install. Now let's get this TForce Delta DDR5 RAM unboxed and installed onto our motherboard. I went ahead and chose this option because it looks so freaking cool. I feel like these are a great option for both looking awesome and performing really well. And the price wasn't too shabby either because the Amazon Prime Day deals got my back. Let's give these two big boys a satisfying click into the second and fourth slots in my motherboard, and we'll move on to our SSD. I chose this Samsung 990 Pro 2TB because it's plenty of storage for me, and I think it's better to overspend on a high quality SSD than anything else in the build. And this motherboard actually has a heatsink for the SSD, which is pretty nice because these things can get hot, especially when they're near other components. You just have to make sure you remove the tape before you install the SSD. I went ahead and removed the case fans to make room for our new ones, and I was actually really surprised how good they look. What's really nice about this case is that there's a tray that actually holds the fans in and it's removable, so we could install the fans a whole lot easier. And since these fans clip together, it was super easy to get them prepped. And with the fans installed, we could pop the tray back in. I also went ahead and took care of the fans at the bottom of the case, and it's starting to look pretty good. Now it's time to get our motherboard moved into its new home, and I'm really happy with how this is fitting into the build. Unfortunately, the one singular exhaust fan didn't come in time for this video, so I'll just install it later. And I also took care of plugging in all the fans and buttons into the motherboard. And now for the AIO. I chose the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 Pro because, again, it performs great without breaking the bank. I went ahead and switched out the fans to match with the rest, and now we're ready to install it. The cool thing about this AIO is that the cover is magnetic. And just like that, our AIO is installed, and we're pretty much 3/4 of the way through this build. Now for my favorite part, mounting the GPU. In my opinion, the Cooler Master mount is probably the best pick because look at this design, it's so sick. It really gives this build a beautiful high-tech look. And not only that, this thing is super rigid, so I definitely trust it with my precious GPU. Speaking of, here's the GPU after a few paint touch-ups. I think it turned out really good, and I'm definitely glad I went the route of painting it because I don't think a black GPU would look good in this build. And with our GPU installed, this is how the PC looks. I'm so happy with the way it turned out, but there's one really important dreadful step left. That's right, baby, it's cable management time. Let's get this power supply unboxed, then installed into our new PC. Oh, and luckily there's a door right here and plenty of space for our PC to get cable managed. I didn't want y'all to sit through that, so I didn't film it, but here's how the front looks after all the cables have been installed, and I'm happy with how this looks. The back, however, is a completely different story. It's kind of a mess. I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so I'm happy with that. And again, luckily this door is here to hide it. And with that, our PC is all done. Here's how it looks on my desk, and I'm super happy with it. Now let's see if this thing boots up. After turning on the power supply, our motherboard has life, but now it's time for the moment of truth. Just kidding. Let's go, guys. Thanks so much for y'all's support, as I can't make videos like this without it. And if you're new here, you know what to do. Hit that sub button.